This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and O-Dog on TSN 1050.
I got you. Moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, and Dave Feschuk of the Toronto Star. What is happening this afternoon?
Gentlemen, it's great to see you, and I am going to try to be at my best today because, according to this turkey, he said, I'm annoying to listen to and finds my take to mostly be shallow and often tailored for maximum engagement as opposed to honest analysis.
I like that. Maximum engagement. We are looking for that. Don't sway from that.
I don't even know what that means. So what, you just say stuff to get clicks?
Yeah, I guess it's
I'm on
clickbait
TV
stuff.
every day for 2 hours. Does this turkey think I need to get clicks?
I
don't care.
I like that we're bringing up some criticism to start the show.
Yeah.
I
It's
like
mean
that.
tweet season.
Mean tweet season. Okay, I like that.
I mean, that's all year round, isn't it? Like, that's 365, 24/7.
Yeah.
Mean tweet season.
Let me ask you this, Hayes, as a man of the people and everybody loves you, do you ever get somebody just rip you like that?
all
saying,
the time. All the time. I get
Really?
stuff. Oh, all the time, dude. You think it's exclusive to you? Do you know how many people write me to shut up and stop talking? And how does this guy have a job? You're awful. The opinion. I could go on and on and on. And I get DMs all the time, which is particularly, I wouldn't say harsh,
Invasive.
particularly invasive.
Personal.
Right? Like Twitter, you get it. Twitter's just, it's a town hall, man.
Invasive.
The invasive nature of a DM, we're like, okay, there you go. Because a lot of people will write and be very positive. Hey, heard this, heard that, love the show. You guys are great. It's awesome. And I try to respond to people if I can. You know, thank you, appreciate it, all good. But sometimes you open it up and you're like, oh, this looks like a normal person that's probably, maybe you're going to disagree with something, which is great. No problem with that. I don't care if someone writes, hey, I totally disagree, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But sometimes you'll open up and you're like, woof, that was serious comment.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was very rude and
Chuck,
uncalled
what
for.
about you if you write a piece, like you get just, what are the responses to that? Or you just shut that noise off?
No, I mean, I read it all, man. Like, I still get
read
letters,
it
man,
all.
in the mail.
That's old school stuff.
Newspaper readers some of them are pretty old school, right?
Yeah.
So you still do get reader mail in the physical form. Some of it's, laced with dicey looking powders occasionally, but that you call in the hazmat people. But hey, Doug, I'll tell you what though, when you get the negative feedback, my mentors in the business always told me, when you get a really nasty letter, email, tweet, DM, if you respond as a human being and say, thanks for listening to my stuff, appreciate your interest in my work.
No, my response was, and you can find it on Twitter, I wrote, everybody hates somebody, chum.
Oh, you call them a chump, see?
I think I said pal. I said
Okay,
everybody
pal.
hates everybody, because what I realized about this business is everybody hates somebody. Like, I'll get random people come up to me and be like, you know that guy at TS, like, I hate that guy. And it's like,
It's probably me. Just admit they're saying
it's not.
me.
It's not. It's just random people. It's like,
Okay.
it might be somebody, just a random person that's the nicest person on earth with, like, just doing their job, not a ton of opinions. They're like, I can't stand that guy. And it's like, what is that guy
That's
do?
the way it goes, man.
I know.
That's the way it goes. When you're going to put yourself out there and have opinions
Everybody
and have
hates
fun.
somebody.
Yeah, it's all good. Like you
You'd be
said, they're
surprised.
watching and listening and reading.
But the only point I was making, O-Dog, is you would be surprised if you respond to the nastiest email you ever got with like a really nice, like, thanks for reading. I appreciate your opinion. Sorry we don't agree on this, or sorry you don't like my work. And then you just say, hey, hope you have a great day. You will get another email very shortly thereafter where the person says, generally, in my experience, and in the experience of a lot of people I know in the business, they'll basically say, oh, yeah, sorry, I was a little nasty in my first email. As soon as you acknowledge them as a human being and you pay attention to them and you acknowledge that you are interested in their opinion, suddenly they become your pal. Not chump, but pal. And I think if you kind of address them as pal, generally They'll come back with some.
Well, I believe that happened because I saw that. Didn't the guy write back? Goes, no, I'm just, it's all good. I'm just saying that,
No,
some of the
he
opinions.
followed it up with, when I wrote everybody hates somebody, he's like, oh, I don't know you and I don't hate you, and I just wanted to absolutely.
Anyway, it's all
Eviscerate
good.
your work.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Listen,
It
sometimes you get it from people you don't know. Sometimes you get it from people you do know. And I was actually going to seek out some advice today because I found myself shopping today, which I don't think is very late. Like my wife on the way out said, oh, it must be nice going out on the 18th. I'm like, there's a week left. Like this isn't even close to crunch time. Crunch time is the 24th when you're scrambling. And I have been there many times.
Dude, I had to throw a couple people at Sherway Gardens $500 cash to wrap all presents on the 24th at 4 p.m.
Yes, I know the feeling, and I know exactly what you went through. And what I ended up doing today, I was going out and I was looking for some stuff and picking up some stuff for other people. And I never go out and shop, ever. Like, I never go out and just, I need a shirt, I'm going to buy a shirt. So I ended up buying stuff for myself. And then I told my wife, and it did not go over so well.
Dude, why would you ever tell your wife that you bought items for yourself on a Christmas mission?
But why is that wrong?
That is a donkey move.
Why is that wrong, though? Why does it matter if I need a new shirt on December 18th? How is it any different than July 18th? Like, I was in the store. I got the other stuff. Why can't I also be like, you know what, that shirt, kind of need that, need a pair of shoes, got a I actually end up getting a lot of stuff, and I never go shopping. So this forced me to go shopping, and I happen to kill two birds with one stone. I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's the only stupid move you made was you always. It's like buying a new set of clubs, man. It's just you don't ever let anybody know that. It's just go right in the bag, and it's just like going through customs, man. Rip the tags off, act like they're yours, and away you go.
Yeah, good point. I should have grandfathered it into the rotation.
It's a bit about
perception. I could have done that.
Like I think O'Doug's dead on here. Like, it's supposed to be the season of giving, not the season of getting stuff for yourself.
Spoiling yourself.
It wasn't about spoiling. It was a necessity.
No,
these are shoes and jackets.
It's between you and you. You know
right,
what I mean?
hear you.
You know what I mean?
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Probably
but
not.
I don't know. You can't grandfather a jacket in. You can't a new wedge. You can't show up with a new jacket. I live with my wife. She's not going to be like, hey, where the hell did you get that jacket?
No, you can. You know why? Because as much as they want you to pay attention to what they're wearing, you could have 5 new jackets, and I don't think
you could be right.
They don't pay attention to what you wear, man. Like, you could have a pierced ear and a nose ring and a new jacket, and they would be like, 10 days in, they'd be like, hey, looking different these days.
Yeah, I like that. What's different about you with a face tattoo?
Say you got a hand-me-down from
Tyson
O-Dog.
face tattoo.
You could say the O-Dog gave you a hand-me-down out of the trunk, right? Like,
yeah, I guess you're right.
He's that kind of guy.
He is that kind of guy. He's a charitable guy.
He is.
Well, anyway, listen, how about you on the panel last night? Canada was a low-scoring game, looked pretty good. We got Dale Hunter joining us in 20 minutes. And that top line looked good. McKenna was flying. And it's a sign of, like, all right, we're going. They're going to be in Minnesota in just over a week, 8 days away from getting things started. And, they're going to play Sweden again, I think, in London over the weekend. But pretty good start. Pretty good start for Canada last night.
I think they've got all the pieces to kind of do damage at that tournament and do what they're there to do every year, which is win gold. They've got the phenom in McKenna. They've got some returning guys from the NHL, some guys with NHL experience, and then just some other real solid players around around Canada. So if they can put it all together and guys can play and get it all done, there's stuff you got to figure out. Like, you got to make your power play lethal. You got to establish your forecheck, and the right guys got to get things done. And the goaltender looked really solid last night. And you put all those things together, you're going to have a good team.
Big time. Yeah, big time. And that was it. Last year, it was about can they score goals, right?
Dude, was it ever? It was so frustrating. It's like all this talent, and they could not power play couldn't score goals.
Could not score goals. Killed them. It was the whole story of the whole tournament. Cannot get goals. And in a tournament like that, there's going to be 6-5 games. Like, it's just the nature of the beast. There's too many breakdowns. They're too young. You got to win a game 6-5. You want to win gold at the World Juniors.
It's junior hockey.
Yeah.
It's a comeback sport.
Big time.
How many times do you see it? At the highest level of junior hockey, you see a team down 3-0, suddenly they're up 4-3. I mean, that's the nature of the business. It's a game of runs. It's a game of momentum. It's a game of emotion, and it's young emotion, right? You're talking about teenage kids. I mean, and so I think, look, Canada's under a little bit of pressure here, right? Like you've had 2 straight tournaments where it hasn't gone your way. You have not ended up on the podium. There's high expectations here. This seems like a team, O-Dog, that, as you point out, should have the pieces. It has NHL-ready guys. It has guys who've proven themselves at the highest level or close to it. But that doesn't always equate to the gold medal you're hoping for here. And I think once you kind of have this streak here of 2 straight non-podium finishes, you do worry that the pressure ratchets up on these kids, and the pressure has gotten to Canada in the past.
Well, Hayes mentioned the guy that's coming on, Dale Hunter. Like, if you're going to get a coach to put in place that's been under pressure situations in junior hockey, you can't get better than that. I mean, all the winning that guy's done, it's like him and his brother involved in this is a great move by Hockey Canada. Like, just get the guy that wins the most. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how, they had great NHL careers. Dale Hunter had a great NHL career. And I think his hockey legacy is junior hockey. The guy, he played 1,300 games, he played a ton.
Oh, yeah.
Was a true impact player, like one of the craziest careers ever, as we know. And yet it's, I think, more about what he's done in London, which is the powerhouse of the Canadian Hockey League, and what he's done with the World Juniors, and this is a big task for sure. So Dale's coming up in about 20 minutes. The Leafs are off to Washington tonight, and we got our answer. We talked about it last week. Joseph Woll, it's load management season. He's not playing tonight. Hildeby will play tonight. They've got a back-to-back this weekend. Woll will play one of them, clearly.
So how long does that last for? Is that like, okay, you're just coming back, we're going to ease it in here, or is that the new reality of life? It's like you got to play one game and then take some time off.
That's a reasonable question.
It is that his new reality?
Right. If you are a load management player, then context of the season, of who else is available, is irrelevant. You're just not going to do it. You're not going to play 3 games in 5 nights or what have you. Or is this just a grandfathering back into the swing of things? I guess we'll find out.
Well, I think this is smart. I really do, because look, they've made this mistake, right? Where when Joseph Woll wasn't available early in the season, they overworked Anthony Stolarz, and we haven't seen him in quite some time with an injury that has not been disclosed and is, very murky. And then when, Woll came back, and Stolarz wasn't around, I think Woll started 8 or 9 games. It was a very concentrated amount of work for a guy who'd missed training camp and had sort of only had a couple of conditioning games with the Marlies. And what do you know? He got hurt with that heavy workload after barely a few weeks on the job. So I think those are 2 mistakes they made, or you could argue they made mistakes with not having faith in Dennis Hildeby in those 2 instances where they didn't want to give Hildeby starts when Stolarz was riding with it. They didn't want to give Hildeby starts when Woll was riding with it, and both guys got hurt.
Dave, are they mistakes, or is it the player that's just not durable? Like, what are we
Well, they have to know
about?
that, though, Doug, because these guys haven't been durable ever since they got to the NHL.
Yeah, but we were talking about it last week. It's like, well, what actually are you if you're not durable in the NHL? Like, are you a guy that earns the paycheck of a guy that's supposed to? Like, I know my responsibility was to play close to 82 games and try to get 30 goals and have a bunch of hits and shots on net. Like it's almost like you should be paying these guys half. It's like, I can only do this and that. It's like it's almost like you're not a full-time NHL player. If that's what the new reality going forward is. I don't know. I always just thought a part of the job was doing it a lot. Like it's an everyday job, man. You got to play all the games. That's what you get paid for. Everyone talks about fitness and science and all these stupid websites that MJ and Frankie go on, and they're great and everything. But the most important thing is the games. The games.
Right. And that, I think, is what we're driving at here. Is this, okay, you just got back 3 weeks from now, this will no longer be the case, or is this just the everyday reality of Joseph Woll, and more than likely will be the reality of Stolarz when he returns? I guess we'll find out. But what if it is load management, then we have the answer that they're not capable of being starters. They're not capable of being number one guys, where I thought that was possible for Joseph Woll. You know, when he came up as a young guy, and he's still relatively young, like you would want to take advantage of the opportunity. And you talk about money, the only way you're going to make $8, $9, $10 million is if you start 55-plus games a year.
Right.
That's not going to be possible.
It doesn't seem like
it. Doesn't seem like it. And there also was, again, this is old school versus new school. There was a time when O would play where players would storm an office and say, "Are you kidding me? I'm playing." That mentality doesn't appear to exist in the modern game. I don't think that's exclusive to Wall. But could you imagine, back in the day, a veteran guy with a chance to take something? Like, I could tell you, Noodles would have crawled through a wall to start. Like, I could use Noodles as an example. If you went to Noodles 30 years ago and you said, yeah, the other starter's not playing, and sure, it's a huge opportunity for your career, but we're going to give you the night off, he'd fight you. Say, are you nuts? I'm playing. I want to play. Play me, please.
And
that
my
doesn't
first year in the
exist.
league, there was a lot of 34, 35-year-old players, and I watched Paul Maurice tap Kelly Chase on the shoulder and say, "You're not going tonight, Chaser." And the hockey stick went directly through the large screen right in the dressing room, the monitor, and I was like, in my head, I thought, that's how serious that this and how important it is for that guy to be in the lineup. And it was a great lesson just watching the whole thing transpire. Because it was like that guy cared that much. Like, it wasn't like some guys you just see. I remember my dad pulled me aside in junior and he said, "See those guys that are scratched right there, how happy they are?" And he said, if you ever are not playing and I see you wandering around here like you're the happiest guy in the building, I'll be pissed. Because it's like that's the thing you're supposed, like, it's the games.
Yeah, I think you're right, Doug. But look, I don't think this is about these guys not wanting to play. It's not about them not being eager to play. I just think it's the reality of the position now. Like, you played in the league, Dog, at a time when, Martin Brodeur was starting 78, 79 games or whatever it was. And that's just not happening anymore, right? Like, nobody's doing that. Not even the best guys. The most durable guy in the league is not doing that anymore. And it's become more of a platoon position because they're up and down more. They're side to side more of a toll on the body. All these guys are growing up with, they're having hip surgeries. They're having knee surgeries. The butterfly era has been tough on bodies.
The whole goaltending position is a way different thing. And I understand it's a difficult position. It's harder than knees, the groins, the hips, the back. But it's like, I don't know. It seems like Shesterkin and all the quality guys, they don't have a problem. But Borowski, like, he wheels in there and he plays a lot and he gets the job done and he plays well. It just seems like, and I'm never going to accuse somebody of not wanting to play, but it's just very easy for them to say, I'm not even stepping foot near that ice surface unless I'm 110%, which is kind of a different mentality.
Well,
and to each their own, man. If you need to say, for instance, a couple years back in Game 7 where Joseph Wall just all of a sudden got off the bus and he couldn't play, like, there's a scenario, and it's dating yourself, but back in the day, like, that would be completely shocking, and you'd have to be dead not to be putting your gear on. Dead, half dead.
Yeah. Well, and that was a couple years ago, and he's, you're still here, you're still moving, you're still doing your thing. Ultimately, Hildeby has proven that he can play. That's a big benefit, that Hildeby has played very well, and he'll go tonight. And listen, the pressure can't be on the goalie every single game with this team. That's another thing that has got to be rectified here. When they have won recently, it's in large part been because the goalie has played so well. And that's what's put so much focus on Wall. Wall played so much because they were a dead-in-the-water team based on their start, and he had to play because they needed to win games. Mm-hmm. And he was playing so well.
Dominate a game and give your goalie an easy night.
That's it. Like, you're a veteran team. You're one of the oldest teams in the league. Now, it's not easy. Washington's really good, and they're playing really well right now. But maybe dictate the pace and keep the puck out of your end and allow Hildeby to breathe tonight. Like, that, you would think would be the focus. I'm sure it is if you're Craig Berube. Do you believe it'll happen? Not based on what we've seen through 32 games, but something's got to give. Where the Leafs, they just have not had enough easy games. They had some on that road trip in Pittsburgh, Carolina by the end of the game, even Florida by the third period. But it's either been coming from behind and trying to find a way to get a point or win a game, or holding on for dear life and trying to get points. And that puts a lot of strain on your goaltender.
You're right. Look, I mean, I think that's exactly why, to your point, like, Berube ran Joseph Wall out there every night because Berube was probably 1 or 2 losses away from losing his job at some point.
Desperation.
But as somebody said to me during that run, like, desperation has a price, right? And the price essentially, in this case, was Joseph Wall was suddenly unavailable because, you can argue they ran him out there at a pace he couldn't sustain.
But don't you think they had conversations? Like, I don't think Craig Berube is a smart guy. Don't you think he went up to him and said, "What do you think about going?" And the kid said, "Yeah, I'll go." Like, is that just him saying, "I really don't know about this, and I'm scared of the coach because I'm going to say yes"? Like, he's bailed before. Like, why would he? If it was such a problem, why'd he keep going in the net?
Well, my point, though, O-Dog, is like, you look at the history of these guys. Neither guy, Stolarz or Wall, has been able to play more than half a season, right? Like, they just haven't been able to do it. So why would you think they're anything more than every other night guys? And suddenly they're playing them as though they're 60 game guys and 70 game guys, or on pace to be that. And I just think it's unrealistic. Like,
the thing is, he may get hurt anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
That's the reality. Is like, that was a point I made last week. Maybe you got to ride a guy until he's going to get hurt, because you just know it's coming. Well, so do you give a week off, or do you just say you're playing, man, and then we just know it's coming and you're going to miss a week here or there? Right?
You got to just look at what you got big picture. Like, what kind of value are you getting out of two guys that can only play in a tandem system where it's like each guy is 33 game maxed out and Hildeby's got to play the other one, and they're often hurt. So what are you actually getting for the money you're paying your goaltenders? Part-time guys that are always injured. What a great investment.
Well, listen, that's what they've got. They've made that decision. Hildeby's going tonight, and Wall will start one of the two games over the weekend.
But they got to hope Hildeby continues to develop, because they need a third guy.
Yeah, 100%. He's got a big opportunity. Like, if you're Hildeby, you're probably sitting in the corner saying, "This is great. I get to keep playing. I'm playing in the NHL. He's cashing NHL checks."
That's right.
Right, and if he plays tonight, and I think it's Sunday in Dallas, like, those are the two tough games on the trip. You're going to put Wall more than likely in Nashville, I guess. We'll find out. We'll see what Berube says about that. But it's interesting. Max Domi on the fourth line to start the game tonight. And I have to believe, if you're Matthias Michelli, are you not watching that saying, how is this guy keep playing and I can't get in the lineup? Like, Max Domi has been pretty terrible this year. Like, he's really struggled. And the other night, Berube was not happy with him. But instead of taking him out of the lineup, you just put him on the fourth line. And Michelli is about to miss his, I believe, 15th game in a row. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a big booster for Matthias Michelli. Don't get me wrong. But if you're that mad at Domi, why not take him out again and give Michelli a shot?
Well, you saw Berube talking to Michelli this morning. I always wonder what that conversation is. Like, how do you massage into that conversation of the 15th straight scratch?
Right.
It's like, well, you're close to going in. You never know. Maybe in Nashville. It's like,
it's an unfortunate set of circumstances. It's no one's fault. The coach doesn't like him, won't play him. GM got him. I'm sure the GM wants to see him play, but
he hasn't been good either.
No, exactly. I'm not boosting Michelli. I'm just saying there are guys on this roster. Robertson has made mistakes. Domi's made mistakes, and this guy cannot get in. I look at Max Domi. I'm like, how is this guy on the fourth line? Like, he has moved everywhere.
He started on the first line.
He was on the first line, then they needed him to play center, and now he's on the fourth line, and it's a mess. Like, he's got to play way better, and he keeps getting opportunities. And yet guys like Michelli, in particular, are like, I can't even get a shot.
And that's the
can't even get in the lineup.
That's the difficult thing, because everybody handles scratches differently. And the times that I was scratched, I selfishly would look at guys that I was kind of like comparable, or the guy that replaced me, and I would watch them like a hawk. And you just want to go up to the coach and say, "You're seriously playing him again the next game?" Or what about this other guy that played just god awful the other night? Like, you're just dying to get back in, and you're just looking at the coach saying, if I was held accountable, what about these other guys? What are we doing here?
Right. Yeah. And yet Berube fills out the game sheet, and he's got the guys he likes and the guys that he doesn't. All right, Dale Hunter coming up. We got Luke will join us today. HBO on the clock. What a game tonight. Battle of the NFC West. This will basically determine who wins the division tonight. Seattle and the LA Rams. We got big games on the weekend, too, so Luke's coming up. And more on Leafs Caps tonight. We got the Raptors taking on Milwaukee this evening. The Jets lost again last night. They cannot score. We'll get into Winnipeg and Mini Jerry's on whether or not they're going to make the playoffs, because it is getting very, very concerning and very, very loud in the Peg. Our second home, by the way. So more on that later this afternoon. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Getting worried about our Winnipeg Jets, man. I'm getting very concerned. We were talking about the World Juniors last year, how they could not score. Winnipeg can't score. Like, they have Scheifele and Connor. They broke up that line, recently. They put Velarde, I think, further down the lineup. I don't think Arneal's been ecstatic with his game. But basically, if Scheifele and Connor aren't going, they have nothing right now.
Well, then they got to go get somebody then. How can they keep watching the same thing every night where it's like if Scheif and Connor and that top line doesn't get it done, they have no chance. No one else is contributing offensively.
No, and they got.
So you got to go get a guy. So
yeah,
it's very simple, man.
Well, we spent most of the first segment talking about the Leafs relying on their goaltending. Nobody relies on their goaltending as much as these guys rely on Hellebuck, right?
All Hellebuck all the time.
All the time.
More so than last year.
Yeah.
Because they're not defending at the same level.
Which is why people were been giving this guy, MVP votes regularly for how many years now, and rightly so. Like he is the team in a lot of ways, and when he hasn't been able to show up in the playoffs, we've seen what's happened to this team.
I think they desperately miss. My buddy brought to my attention earlier today. Ehlers was always a secondary guy who would carry the mail, and he would lug the puck and he'd make plays, and that was a secondary guy, and he's gone, man.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I remember that was the issue at the deadline last year. You go find a second line center. They moved Nemistikov to the second line. They've been waiting for Perfetti to keep taking steps, and they've got good depth guys. Adam Lowry, everyone loves Lowry, but Lowry's not a 30-goal scorer. Jonathan Toews is struggling. Toews is not going to put up numbers. And
that was a bit of a Hail Mary, right? As much as everybody loves Jonathan Toews, and there's no desecrating the legacy of Jonathan Toews. He's a surefire Hall of Famer. He was the captain of a team that won 3 cups in 6 years in Chicago. It's been a long time since he's been an effective player in this league, right?
Yeah.
And the comeback was, to me, it was a faint hope comeback to in terms of him becoming an integral player, something other than just a bit player, right? And what did you expect? Who's done that? Doesn't happen.
No, leave the game for 2 years, and even prior to him leaving, he had slowed down. That Chicago dynasty, they came to a halt at a rapid pace. If you look at it, I want to say that maybe the 16-17 year, because I think they won their last cup in 15, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think they did like Pittsburgh did. You start getting punted in the first round, and that's the first sign.
But even worse, it was bad. Quinville got fired pretty quickly, and they were still there. It was Taves and Kane, and Sharp was still there, and Seabrook and Duncan Keith, and they just, their wheels fell off. And really, none of them have aged gracefully. Seabrook retired. Keith went to Edmonton and then abruptly retired.
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And Patrick Kane, actually, who's been pretty good. And Kane, remember, he had the pretty serious surgery himself and missed a large portion of his season.
Yeah.
But none
Brian,
of them.
That's what happens. They earn their wheels falling off.
Totally.
Deep runs, conference finals, 3 Stanley Cups. And those guys are all blue-chip guys. We're talking World Juniors, under-18s, all-star games. When you're those guys that are doing everything all the time, from young players up to 30 years old, and you're winning cups and going on those long runs, you earn your legs falling off, and that's what happens. But, man, it's damn worth it.
It's 100% worth it. If
Yeah,
you're a
worth
fan, if you're a player, if you're an owner, exactly. They got 3 cup rings, man. They're all getting statues. They're all it's probably the greatest run in Chicago Blackhawk history.
Oh, by far.
It is. I mean, outside of Makita and Hall.
They hadn't won since 61 when they won in 2010. I mean, it was an incredible turnaround for that franchise, right? And you're right. They were incredible to watch, man. There was nobody more exciting to watch in a playoff game than Jonathan Toews.
Yeah,
in
it
his
was
prime.
amazing.
I mean,
the passion he played with, and he was clutch. It was incredible. Yeah, no, that was an unbelievable team, unbelievable run, and it makes the Penguins kind of dipping and then coming back up pretty amazing. But even that, when the Pens went back-to-back, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to get a third possible run, which is not going to happen. They're not going to go on a cup run, but they've been better this year than I think a lot of people expected. And obviously a different sport, but you look at Brady, Brady had 3 different tours of that. like his first years and then the years in the middle where they lost to the Giants, but they got to the Super Bowls. And then it was like 18, 19, 20 or 17, 18, 19. And then in 21 in Tampa. Like, it was just incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
Just kept ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. All right, Team Canada made their debut last night. Little pre-tournament tune-up, beating Sweden 2-1. And, you were up there. A lot of people buzzing about that binder you had on the desk. Was that necessary for you to have that on the desk last night? What was
That's
that?
what you have to have all that information about kids' backgrounds, European players. It is the Bob McKenzie Directory to the World Juniors. It is a new era starting on Boxing Day.
I love it. And Duthie, how would you respond? Like, he wasn't happy with you calling Dale Hunter Hunts? Is that valid? Like, he basically told you can't do that?
Exactly. And I'm like, we're both former players. We played against each other. I'm allowed to call him Hunts.
All right, well, let's go right to the source and find out if that is true or not. Here he is, the head coach of Team Canada. There's Dale Hunter. Dale, is Zoe allowed to call you Hunts during the tournament on TSN?
Yes, for sure. He called me a lot worse on the ice.
Sure, you said nothing but nice things to him.
Yeah.
I always say nice things on the ice. I always did.
I'm sure. Well, it's great to see you. Thank you for doing this. How did that feel last night to get back behind the bench, get the team together, and kind of get everything in motion, so to speak?
Yeah, it felt good. We were in practice in like 3 or 4 days here, and just to go play a game. The boys really wanted to practice as one thing, playing against each other, but to actually play a real game against a good team, and it was a good challenge for us.
How do you keep these guys focused on just the task at hand and not have the pressure of the last couple of years, Hans? I mean, there was disappointing performances in Europe and then in Ottawa, but it's not on these guys. They just got to go ahead and do their thing, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's like you talk about it early and then we don't talk about it. It's a different team, different season, different a year, and so they're all pumped up about it. They know that we're in. It's a good tournament. That's why it's tough. Like last night, 2-1 game. That's a tough game.
Yeah.
Well, and Gavin McKenna, who was a part of the team last year, came out and said, unacceptable, and that's not what Canadians expect. And I appreciated that honesty, and I like that type of mentality on the outside looking in. How do you approach that type of commentary from a guy like that, an important player for you? Do you get the impression that permeates the group? Like all these guys understand that, the standards are high and the expectations are high?
Yeah, all the guys have talked about it, and they know it is, and it's important for Gavin to be one of the leaders, one of the returning players, to actually acknowledge it. And as soon as you acknowledge it and grip it, we know it's there. It's not no sense hiding it. You just go out and talk about it, and we have to go out and perform. And definitely the pressure's there. That's what it's all about. That's why we love playing hockey.
Yeah, we saw you brought in some specialists to help this team prepare for a tournament where, so much of it can come down to a big power play or in this case, a shootout in the World Juniors. We had so many great Canadian moments in the shootout. I know you brought in Kyle Turris. What did you see from Turris kind of tutoring the players on the shootout, and what kind of value do you hope he added?
No, it's definitely. We've been working on our shootouts, just not for the shootout, but also for breakaways. And in a game, you usually get 1 or 2 a game. So they're always 1-goal games, so it's so important. So he's got it down really well, Kyle, and he knows how to what angles to come on, what you're thinking. It's your thinking is the most important thing. Don't think about 10 things, think about 2 things. And he slowed it down for the guys, and it was really good. And the best of it all is he came down and he dropped it to a skate, kicked it up, and scored. So he just sealed all the guys with that goal.
Dale, what do you think, guys that, like, for instance, Parekh, guys that have had some NHL experience, what do you expect them to do as opposed to acting like a big shot and trying to big league everybody? What are they supposed to bring to the table, and how can they help with that experience?
Well, definitely they can come back. And, some know once you go to the pros and when you go to camps, but these guys actually and stayed up and played games, and they just watched the older guys in the National Hockey League, what they bring, and they're bringing it here, how to prepare before games, how to prepare for practice. Practice is how you play. So the boys that returned, they've been really good. They've been talking to the young guys. Everybody asks questions like to Bernicki, how's it like playing with Sid the Kid? You know, so he tells the experience. It's good, and how Sid prepares and how he the drive to win, and he prepares to win. So I think it's going to really help our team.
We're chatting with Dale Hunter. The lights are going on and off here. It's like we're getting set up for a game tonight. Ahead of the World Juniors again. Canada beating Sweden last night down in Niagara on TSN, beating them 2-1. In terms of, how you might handle the goaltending, Carter George obviously has been really good at the World Junior level, at the junior level throughout, the programs coming up. And you got Jack Ivankovic, who's a stud himself too, and was also on the team last year. Like, how do you intend on that competition where you got two really good, really capable goaltenders? Have you mapped out a plan? And if so, what do you see this looking like?
No, definitely with the coaches and stuff, guys. We all have a plan, but it's like we have to, whoever plays the best is going to play. And that's the way it should be. And just like whoever plays the best up front or D, whoever's the best is going to play. And so you have to show your stuff.
Well, Dale, one thing that's changed this year, like I saw you guys, the email came out that you sent 3 players back to their junior teams. It's such a different world than what it used to be. Oh, you've told the story about waking up at 4 a.m, waiting for a call, thinking you might get cut or what have you. And it used to be this kind of 3-ring circus that Hockey Canada.
Oh, it's a big production. The guys getting cut. It was terrible.
Right. It was very tough on the players. I'm sure tough on the coaches. Like how much easier is? I know it's tough to tell the 3 kids that are going back. It's still tough for them, but it's not as much of a kind of circus like it used to be. What do you make of the new process?
Well, I just wanted, we brought in a couple extras. We didn't have a real camp, like 40 guys coming in. We went out, scouted Mark and Al, and made sure we got the right guys in here. And they spent a lot of time at it. And now we came back here, and we had just had to make a few cuts. And we wanted to make it early. So right tomorrow, we start with our lines playing. Our team's going to play in London. We're going to play our regular lines. And we sat out a couple boys last game to get everybody a shot to see who can play. And we made our choices. Tough choices, too, because, they're very good players. And it was tough. And there's no enjoyment of letting kids go. And it's tough, but we have to make our choices.
Yeah, I know you're coaching the team. You're coaching in the here and now. But, Canada's had a couple of, as O pointed out, a couple of disappointing finishes in this event the past 2 times. How much can we look at those 2 quarterfinal losses and learn lessons, if any? And how much have you looked at them, and how much do you have to sort of pay attention to the idea that these guys, there is a pressure element here?
Yeah, it is. It's like you look at it, you watch the games, you learn from your past, and then you got to move on. It is what happened, and everybody knows it, and it's one of those things. It's that's why every game, like last night, it was a 1-goal game, and you got to learn to play in them 1-goal games, like either to hold it or try to tie it. And by playing a tight game like last night, it's a good lesson for us that how tight we have to play and how disciplined as much as we can be, disciplined that we don't take penalties, and also how to play with a 1-goal lead.
Are you on babysitter duty right now, Dale? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm outside, and a couple kids just walked by. So,
okay. All right, we got you. It's all good. That's what matters. Exactly. That's what matters. That's the main thing. Well, we wish you nothing but success as always. We'll be rooting for you guys. Always going to be down there, so I'm sure he'll be poking around looking for. He's the new Bob McKenzie. I don't know if you're aware of that, but he'll be breaking news and looking for insights. Yeah, absolutely. So good luck and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for doing this.
Okay, thanks guys for everything. Okay, bye.
You got it. There's Dale Hunter. I love it. Just outside, I don't know, at a park doing a little FaceTime.
Yeah.
As he should. He's a man on the move.
Rascals running around somewhere over there.
There was something going on there. But listen, he brings a lot of pedigree when it comes to being behind a bench and winning, and
One thing I love that he said, guys, and it's just great to hear him say that when you're talking about the quality of players that are on this team. He said the best guys are going to play. And he didn't mean the best talent. Who's ever playing the best? Like, that's what he said. He's power play guys. Who's ever playing the best offensively is going to go out in the power play. Whatever goalie's playing the best, there's no other agenda or trying to overthink things or this is going to be the best. Who's ever playing the best is going to play.
The novel concept, given the fact that we've been watching a Toronto Maple Leafs power play where generally the same five guys get trotted out there no matter how bad they are.
Right.
That's what I can't believe, Fess. It's like, I get it. They got the contracts and they've got everything, but it's like to wield that same unit out there, it is crazy stuff. Like, it is really time to sit somebody down, and I don't care if it's Matthew Nyes or if it's John Tavares, and I don't care who the replacement is. It's just got to be different. Like, if you got to throw Nick Waugh in front of the net and say just stand there and deflect some pucks and go in the – I don't care. I don't care if it's Nylander for Michel. It's just got to be something different. To watch them continuously go out there and do the same things, we all know the saying, it is insanity, because it's really crazy to watch how good players can go out there and keep doing that. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, pro sports is very different, though, right? That dollar amount, it hangs over a guy whenever he goes on the ice.
Really,
whenever
man?
he goes on the court.
What about wins and losses? It's
You're
a win-loss
preaching to the
league.
choir, but I remember talking to Sam about this. Sam Mitchell, he's like, the guys who get paid are playing. Like, those are the guys that are they're playing. Where with the juniors, like, you don't have any obligation to anybody. Dale Hunter is not there. If Gavin McKenna's playing great, he'll play, as he should. But it's not his obligation to make sure he goes first overall, so he has a great, World Junior
Hunt's
experience.
just cares about winning the gold medal.
Exactly.
That's why he's won so much in junior. He does not care.
Who's going to play? Who's on their toes? That's what's going to happen.
The World Juniors, they happened last year in Ottawa. It was the same unit with Bonk and Cowan, and they went out there, and they weren't scoring, but they just kept going out there.
Never took them off. Never made any adjustments.
Never.
And then it was like how dare you challenge us, or how dare that whole experience was a disaster last year.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing about a coach is adjustments. I mean, you talk about Belichick after halftime all the time. There was an adjustment. Andy Reid, you're talking about big time adjustments where the game can flip. Like, you got to give Buffalo a lot of credit. Like, they were garbage the first half against New England. What an adjustment, and they just crushed New England afterwards. Like, making big adjustments, or maybe it might be subtle adjustments that mean big things, but you got to be able to do it. And you got to be able to do it quick on your feet as well.
It's exactly what matters the most. Like, once you're in the fight, what are you going to do to make sure you get across the finish line? You can talk about preparation. You can talk about watching game tape, having the greatest practice habits ever. The games are what matter. What is the coach going to do when it's go time and the puck is dropped or the ball's in the air? That's what really separates great coaches from good coaches.
Craig Button has great stories about that. Playoff matches where it was like they saw Nieuwendyk one game and they won, and then the next game they would just switch it up and throw Modano out a different line just to give them a different look, how it would offset things and give them momentum and change things. Like, it's great stuff when you got a smart coach who knows how to make adjustments.
Yep, absolutely. Luke Wilson coming up in about 15 minutes. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live. Luke Wilson coming up into the next hour. We'll get to our best bets powered by FanDuel. Leafs in Chicago tonight. Raptors back in action. They're in Washington, sorry. They're in Washington. I'm all over the map here. I was going to get to the Raptors, and they're actually in Milwaukee. They're not even playing the Bulls tonight. So,
lights bothering you a little bit?
Yeah, the lights keep going on and off in the studio. I don't know what is happening. As far as I know, we're still on the air. The chance we're not. We're just broadcasting to ourselves.
Yeah. I know the amount of people that will be rushing in to fix that.
Oh, it's a very high priority. It's a very high priority. Like, we were just on break. No one was in here.
No.
No one checking to make sure, the lighting actually works, and it's all good.
JP and Doogie look completely at ease back there.
Very relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, Doogie, very, very relaxed. So that's always, a soothing.
That's good.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's
very
one element
calming.
to fix the problem is Doogie actually has to reach out to somebody and say, we have a bit of a lighting problem.
Generally speaking, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
In a
I thought I
business
just
like
heard
this.
Doogie and JP on a commercial that we just aired. Like, that is pretty cool stuff.
Well, is that the
Pretty
College
cool.
of Sports Radio?
Yeah.
The two of them were promoting the fact that Doogie and JP are alumni.
Big endorsement deal for those guys.
That's a massive endorsement deal. Yeah. I mean, Doogie, I'm pretty sure they've named the wing after him. Doogie was almost in the honor roll, like as close
Right.
as you can get.
Like
Right?
How many more years does Doogie have to do this before he speaks to a group? Like, before there's a class where Doogie is leading the charge?
I don't think it's far off, man. I think you'd be surprised. I think Doogie's
Pardon me?
within a year or two. I think he's within a year or two of being a dignified guest at a school teaching, young students about their future.
And about Cologne.
And about Cologne, yes, which is a high priority for Doogie. The Raptors are in Milwaukee. The NBA Cup is now officially behind us.
Can't stand it. I'm sorry, guys. It didn't work. Like, you can move off it. It's okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I wonder, like Adam Silver's very abrasive these days. Like he was on, was he on with Prime or NBC?
Amazon.
Amazon. So he was on with Amazon taking shots at other partners,
Yeah.
kind of subtle, passive-aggressive shots. And I guess the Knicks have said they're not putting a banner up for the NBA Cup.
No kidding.
But
why were they supposed to?
The previous two teams have. I got to think, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm calling Dolan and saying, excuse me, you have to do this.
Wow.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. If it's going to be, if you're a league partner and the owners are literally the league, you can't pretend this is a real event and then have a team win it and say, that's stupid. We're not putting
Any
that up for the Raptors."
organization with any dignity and pride would chew on the $100,000 fine for not putting up the banner.
Well,
Ridiculous.
the Knicks are doing
The Knicks
it.
put up divisional banners. They put up
Exactly.
conference championship banners.
Who are the Knicks to
Yeah.
say no?
They haven't won a championship in more than 50 years, though, Doc. Like, this is at least they won something.
Right. The
They put up-
Lakers.
They put up Billy Joel, got some sellout banners.
so
Harry
fast, you
Styles
think it would be
sold this
cool if
place
they
out
put
banners.
you're okay with them putting up a
There's a banner
banner.
for everything, Dog. And the league's trying to build the tradition here. The Lakers put one up, even though Kobe used to say we don't hang garbage banners. And, the Bucks put one up in the second year, and they're supposed to put it up. But this is about Dolan going to war with the commissioner. And that's what there's a big backstory there about Dolan being unhappy with the league office.
Okay. And I also think Knick fans, I've seen a bunch of them say that would be absurd if they put it up. That's embarrassing, blah, blah,
And yet,
blah.
Atlantic Division champions is fine.
I know, exactly.
I mean,
you haven't
same
won
thing.
anything if you're in New York. You've won
Same
nothing.
thing.
But this is going to be a problem. You can just see where it's going here for Adam Silver. All right, Luke coming up, hour 2. Leafs in Washington tonight. We'll get back into that. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jay Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near 5th Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Dave Feschuk in here. And there he is, Luke Wilson in studio. What's happening?
Just big Steelers win Monday night. Big cover. Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Feeling good.
How you
Rainy
feel
day in
about
Seattle?
Wow, it's a tough game tonight. It's a great game. It's a
Great
big,
game.
pivotal game. Like, basically, the NFC West will be determined this evening.
I will say that there is kind of one dark horse here that no one's really put on the table yet. But I believe, and maybe Doogie can confirm this, that if Seattle wins tonight and they continue to win, and you look at San Fran and they continue to win, San Fran's playing Phillip Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that they get it done on Monday night. That if San Fran beats Seattle the final week of the season, they will sneak in and be the 1 seed.
Crazy.
They'll win the division.
Right. They're still in the hunt.
Like, no one talks about them because of the injuries, but they've just continued to win football games. And they have a bit of a softer-ish schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got to win out as well, but it's live. The NFC West is live right now.
It really is, man. They got 3, legitimate lottery tickets chasing a Super Bowl this year.
And well-coached teams. You look at all 3 teams.
How many are legit, though?
Talent-wise, I think, too. And, I'll say this for any Niners fans out there. If you guys were healthy, specifically Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, I mean, those two guys, in my opinion, are still top-tier, all-pro talents. I would say that they are just as good as anyone. But losing those two guys, you even look at last week, I believe it was Tennessee, the defense, Robert Saleh can only do so much.
Well, let me ask you about one guy, and his name is Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Your old Hawks.
Yeah.
Do you trust that guy in a big game? Because as much as he's turned his career around, he can still stink the joint out in a big game.
Yeah, and I'll say this, O-Dog, what's tough for him right now, you look at Seattle, is I think they have 407 rush attempts this year, which puts them 5th in the league, and their yards per carry is 3.9, which puts them 5th last in the league. So he hasn't had a ton of help from the run game, and Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, comes from that, old Mike Shanahan tree, which is where his dad was, of establish the run game and everything's based off of that. So I don't think it's all him. He's had obviously a good year. They've had some turnover issues, but I get worried that if it comes down, let's say today, there's some weather, I do worry that he won't be able to put the team on his back and just find a way to win.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that's why, it's interesting you say the Niners are not necessarily a team getting talked about. They're not getting talked about in terms of chasing the division.
Yeah.
But I think they get way more play from the general public than Seattle, partially because they're more of a public brand.
Totally.
The Niners are a hugely popular team. They've been very good for a long time. Shanahan's a pretty captivating coach. Seattle, for me, I would say the Rams and the Niners are getting more chatter in terms of what they're doing this year, and Seattle has kind of been third, and yet they have 11 wins.
And they have some good ones in there.
There's some really good ones. And I think it's the Darnold effect, personally. And it's not that Darnold isn't a well-known player. He's third overall pick, and look what he did in Minnesota last year, and he's played really well this year. I just don't know if people like the general public are willing to jump on board when Stafford has done what he has done and Purdy's played in a Super Bowl before.
Yeah, and I understand that. And again, tonight's kind of another op for him. Sam Darnold
he's got to
write his story.
This is a massive game for his career.
Totally. I would say that, but you also, we got to keep it in effect. Seattle, generally, when they say it's raining, it's misting. I actually spoke with Farhan Lalji right before coming on here, gave me a little shout. And I'm like, yo, how bad is it? And he's like, it's raining. We'll see if it's coming. There's supposed to be I believe 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Which,
are you sure about that? Are you trying
It's pouring. I'm looking at video right now. Now, they have tarps on the field.
Yeah. But this is where it's sometimes it's been a short week. I actually think the wind situation is a little wilder. But you look at Seattle's defense, if this is a game where it's really tough to throw the football, and Matthew Stafford's got only one of his main weapons in Puka, which I don't know if you've seen some of the off-field stuff with Puka this week.
That guy's got to figure it out,
dude.
Man. Why are these guys going on streams and weird. The stuff where he called out the refs is crazy,
just dumb,
so
dumb
stupid.
Penalties for attention or something.
Yeah, he said they want attention, so they make calls. They throw flags so that they get more TV time.
Was he a little bit altered, I'll say?
A little bit tipsy, is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I don't know, O-Dog. I'm watching it, and I'm like, I don't know the guy. I have never, crossed paths with him, but I'm like, this is just silly, especially for a guy right now. Statistically, you've got JSN and him kind of taking over the league. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why would you bring, this light or this distraction? You have the 1 seed if you win tonight, somewhat locked up if you win.
Yep.
You're one of the best receivers in the league right now. You're on a team that has a good defense. You're on a team that has who I think is going to win MVP in Matthew Stafford. Do you not realize the magnitude of the stars have aligned? You could potentially win a Super Bowl, and you're going to be on a streak.
Here, we have it. Why don't we play it?
Talking smack about refs and then doing other stuff. They're just my goodness, man.
All right, play it.
The refs are the worst because they're just some of the rules aren't and these guys are lawyers and they want to be on TV too, bro. The game is, you don't think he's texting his friends in the group chat yo, you guys just saw me Sunday Night Football that was
no way
that wasn't PI but I called it. I was
seriously, they do that?
I mean, these guys are normal human beings too, bro. These guys
Nate do a better job than them.
Man, that's wild.
Like, you don't think these guys are on their group chat? No, I don't think.
No, they're not.
I do not think that NFL referees are making up PI calls and then going on to their group chat.
That's where his agent gets on the horn and is like, why are you doing those things?
Yeah, or his head coach. I think it's more likely McVay.
The agent
goes,
would
"Take
be
a sit
after the
down."
head coach.
Yeah. What I find fascinating about that is, like, that's Aiden Ross. There's certain streamers out there that are massively popular. And I understand there's a large portion of society that would want to be on the stream or be popular or be his friend. Why an NFL player would have that mentality? Like, dude, you're the guy that the streamer is dying to be friends with. Yeah. Not the other way around.
Agreed.
Like, you're going on a streamer's, and he just sounded like he was saying stuff to make Aiden Ross be like, oh, no way, that's so cool. You're such a cool guy. I'm like, you're a wide receiver in the National Football League.
One of the best wide receivers.
Best. Why are
on
you looking for
arguably
clout?
the best team?
Yes. Why are you looking for clout on a streamer's live stream?
And, you know, to his point about the refs are normal human beings, guess what? They are normal human beings, and they're going to hear that.
Right, exactly.
And they're going to be like, are you serious,
You
pal?
nuts, dude?
It's incredibly
Agreed.
stupid.
But there's been some wild commentary recently. Like, you heard Ime Udoka the other night, head coach of the Rockets, come out and blasted refs. He said two of them should not even be out there.
Yeah.
And he said this in his post game, not on a stream where you sometimes get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I'm not.
It was a wild. Do we have that, JP? I know we're talking NFL right now. See if you can find the Udoka clip, because
It was way over the top.
I haven't read about a fine. I'm shocked it hasn't.
Oh, you got fined.
Okay, you must have. Like, because I'm almost surprised he didn't get suspended. It was wild commentary from a head coach
Was
in
it
the
that
NBA.
bad of a like?
Okay, we have it. Let's play it. This is Ime Udoka, the head coach of the Rockets, a couple nights ago.
In general, I think it's poorly officiated game I've seen in a long time. Two have no business being out there, and the crew chief is acting starstruck. So you're seeing all kind of inconsistent calls, and I'm sure we should have got a few more texts.
What do you say to your team when a game is being called the way that it was tonight?
Keep being who we are. We're not going to adjust to poor officials. So we're going to do what we do, and hopefully they can adjust and call it the right way.
Ooh, man. The crew chief is starstruck. So he's out there looking at stars and being like, you're the best, you're getting calls. That's what he's indicating there. And two of them should not even be on the floor. That's wild.
What
from
are
the
you
head
expecting to happen in the next couple games? Like, you're going to get just butchered out there.
Yeah, that is
Butchered.
red hot, man. Like, I appreciate the honesty, because that's the way he thinks. He thinks these refs are a joke.
And look, the NBA's in a bit of a transition period. They got a lot of young refs that probably aren't as good as they should be. There's no doubt about that. I think if you talk to people that are in the league and are in the league official development department, like they kind of acknowledge that. Like,
Right.
it's just there's been a turnover, right? A lot of the veteran guys retired, and you're slowly trying to build up the workforce, but you can't say it out loud like that. What is the I just wonder what goes through these guys. Like, what is the benefit, Luke?
This is where, to further your point, when I see something like that, I think to myself, okay, there's a lot of negative that can come from now, like refs being like, man, I really don't like this guy, whatever, because, there's human nature involved. But I always wonder, like, going on there. And for me, I'm going to transition this, but it was similar. This is the first time I thought of it. In the NFL, at least when I was playing, you had to have a little bit of white sock showing. And in warm-up, there was a fine guy that would walk around and be like, tell number whatever. If he doesn't pull his white sock up, $5,000. And I was a rookie, and I remember hearing a vet on our team be like, find me the $5,000. I'm not pulling him up. And I remember being like, that is a wild ordeal.
Yeah.
And I think to, like, this coach right here, imagine sitting down, and if I'm doing a presser, being like, I am going to take, I'm assuming it's $50,000 plus, and I'm just going to light it on fire. And for what purpose? Everything that he said, he could have said off camera, probably 30 times worse, kept his whatever the fine money was, and made a bigger impact. And on the flip side, I bet the officials would probably appreciate it. Like, hey, we had a bad night. This guy was right. He kept it to himself. I can't fathom making that decision, no matter how much money you have, to just basically torch thousands of dollars.
It's funny because I think he probably, I'll bet you it played really well in the market. because fans always want to see that stuff. They want to see the coach react the way they would react in a similar scenario. And you always hear head coaches throughout sports say, I'm not going to say it. I'm not getting fined. Right? Like Dwayne Casey was famous for that. Nick Nurse, I'm using the NBA example.
Yeah.
But guys would say it all the time because they'd get poked and prodded. Hey, horrible officiating. What happened at the end of the game there? They'd say, I'd love to tell you, but I like my money.
My wife won't want me.
My wife won't let me because that'll be 25 grand or 50 grand.
It was
whatever.
25. It was Udoka spent 25 grand with those comments.
Yeah.
25 G's.
Which I got to be honest, I'm surprised. Like, there's no CBA because they're coaches, they're league employees. But I'm a little bit surprised it wasn't harsher.
Yeah.
That's a wild statement. Those are wild comments, man.
It also, I think it's the fact that it wasn't harsher might tell you the league
understands it was really
might
bad.
have a point.
Yeah, I guess
might
so.
have a point.
And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Nakua tonight and the Rams. But it's a great game. Like we got a great game tonight.
I know you guys are taking the Hawks, but it's all right.
We'll see. Al's brother will join us here momentarily. But we haven't had you on since the Monday Nighter, and Rogers was slinging it, man.
Slinging it.
Like
That's 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
BK is getting going. MVS caught a ball. I'll tell you another guy, and he didn't do much, but he played a ton. Adam Thielen. They use Adam Thielen quite a bit as a run-blocking kind of wide receiver. And I was like, as that relationship starts to develop, I can see Adam Thielen becoming a part of this offense too. I'm not saying a guy is going to come out here and cut, $120 a game, but be another option for A-Rod. Don't look now. I mean, in a weak AFC, the Steelers, I think
they got a shot.
I don't think they have a shot to run the table and go to the Super Bowl, but they have a shot to win the first round. I mean, right now it depends who it shakes out against.
But doesn't this feel like it's going to be a year where there will be like a surprise team in the Super Bowl, given the fact, like Lamar is not what he was. Burrow is not, obviously the guy that's been the most predictable Super Bowl quarterback, Mr. Mahomes, not available.
Totally.
I mean, it feels like there's going to be a surprise team in there. Certainly from the AFC, unless it's the Bills. And it feels like the NFC is pretty wide open too.
I think if the playoffs started right now, the 1 seed is Denver. Do I have that correct?
Yes, Denver.
And it'd be
New England playing Houston,
which is a wild matchup. I would lean Houston
to win outright.
I would lean Houston at the moment, but very, very tight.
And then Jacksonville, Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo there.
Pittsburgh, Chargers.
And I'd probably take Pittsburgh. I really would. And now all of a sudden you roll into this thing, and Buffalo's going to Pittsburgh again.
And then Houston would be going to Denver in your scenario.
That's where it gets a little wild for me, where obviously I would lean Buffalo over Pittsburgh, especially after the last time. But that being said, if it ended up being something to the effect of like Pittsburgh's playing Denver, if all the favorites won, or if Houston's loses and we now go Buffalo plays Denver and Pittsburgh plays New England, I like Pittsburgh, New England in the second round for me is a tight matchup. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. Stop it, O-Dog. Stop that.
Look how comfortable he looks. Look at Al's brother. Look at the O-Dog.
How's it going, fellas?
Al's
How we
brother,
doing,
you look
teammates?
like you are comfortable, ready for the holidays, and ready to talk some pigskin.
Oh yes, I am, and this is a good game. This is a good game. I'm excited for this one tonight, and I've got some tremendous information for you guys. So I'm set.
All right, let's establish the line, Doogie. Are we at -1.5? Is it for Seattle? Seattle -1.5 at home. Al's brother, you referenced tremendous information. Please supply it.
Yeah. I'm quite perplexed by this line. Like, I'm not going to lie with you. Like, I think the Rams are the far better football team. So I'm surprised that the Seahawks are even favored. So we're getting points as well to go with McVay's Rams. Very surprised by this line. But I'll give you a little 3-pack of reasons as to why I like the Rams tonight. Okay, first and foremost, the Rams just absolutely control this matchup. They're 8-2 against the spread against the Seahawks in their last 10 games, and they've covered 5 in a row in Seattle. So going out onto the road against the 12s, that doesn't bother McVay and company. They get it done whenever they're down there. You look at McVay in December, last 20 December games, 17-3. It's a team that gets hot as the season progresses, as they start to kind of come into their own as the playoffs approach, and that's where we're at right now. You said it earlier today. the weather is going to be horrendous. Expecting tons of rain, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, which means this is going to be a run game. The Seattle Seahawks, they like to run the football, but they're not good at running the football. They average the 5th lowest yards per carry, and they're going up against a defense here with the Rams that ranks 2nd in run-stopping win rates. They're a terrific run-stopping team. So then you're putting the ball in the hands of Sammy Darnold, who saw ghosts through 4 interceptions a month ago against this Rams team. You're talking about bad weather. I just don't like that matchup at all for the Seattle Seahawks. And there's one other thing that I think the weather could impact as well, because you look at what's gone on with the Seahawks offensively. In the last 4 weeks, their red zone scoring percentage, 37.5, which is 28th in football, which means they've relied a lot on the leg of Jason Myers, who single-handedly won them that game last week against 44-year-old Phil Rivers. In a weather game like this, you think they're going to be able to put up all those points? So if
Myers
they can't
kicked
score
6 field
touchdowns,
goals last week. That's why he's got,
Yeah, you relied on
numbers.
him. You relied on him.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
not going to
Don't
work
say
out.
4 weeks. Last week jammed them in this.
But the last 4 weeks, 37.5%. That's a legitimate statistic right there when you look at the Seahawks. And in a 30-mile-an-hour winds, I'm not relying on kicking field goals tonight, which means they got to score and put it into the end zone, because you know that the Rams are going to put it in the end zone. The last 3 weeks, they're averaging 66% scoring rate once they get into the red zone. So I think it comes down to the team that scores 7 instead of 3, and I put all my eggs in this Rams basket. I think we take the points here. I think they're the better team. I'm quite surprised that they even are getting points here. I love the Rams tonight.
House brother loves the Rams.
Hold on. Where are you at, man?
I told you I don't trust Sammy Darnold in a big game. I really don't do it. I think they had a struggle against Old Man Rivers last week that was somewhat suspect.
Very suspect.
So can someone explain to me this line then, Hayes?
Well, this would be
Singapore
my
ain't calling with this.
This would be my explanation.
Yeah.
For it. A couple of different things. Devontae Adams not playing is very significant, leading the league in touchdowns as a wide receiver. 12th man, tough building, big
Very
game,
significant.
short week, divisional game. Weather's not great, and I guess they're looking at it thinking Darnold is due for a big game. I mean, that would be my assumption. But I can't go against these two guys. I mean, that was tremendous information. There were a lot of different points there that made a lot of sense. I think we'll lock in the Rams. We're getting a 1.5, right? Maybe Seahawks win 29-28
when I
tonight.
get the Hawks at home.
Yeah, that's right.
Favored
Are you
by
comfortable
Vegas.
with that?
Why on earth would Vegas give Seattle?
Well, you explain it. How is Seattle favored in this game?
First and foremost, Seattle's defense is an elite unit right now. An elite unit. They're playing extremely
So's the
well.
Rams.
Secondly,
I would probably take Seattle's, but
Thank you.
I'll take this
So
offense
you've got Seattle.
all day long.
Secondly,
But they're not facing 44-year-old Phil Rivers. They're taking on the league MVP and Matty Stafford.
and what
behind
happened?
Kyron
What
Williams,
happened the
who's been a
last
dog
time
for
Matthew
3 years.
Stafford? What happened the last time Matthew Stafford came to town, or excuse me, played the Seattle Seahawks in L.A.? How'd that game go for Matthew?
I believe they won the football game. I
Yeah,
believe
because
is what
Sammy threw
happened.
4 picks. So if you want to have a real point, I'll take O-Dog's point. If you're worried about Sammy Darnold, that's that. But those points were gifted. Matthew Stafford, I think, had, one drive? Seahawks dominated him. Mike McDonald has Sean McVay's number. You know it, and I know it. Seahawks cover tonight, and we're down to – no, I don't even want to say that. I don't want to say
Down
that.
12?
No.
Okay. Down a regular dozen? Well, listen, I think, it's interesting the way you put that, though. This could be an MVP night for Stafford. You get dusted tonight, you don't put up numbers, and you lose. I think the door's wide open for Josh Allen to steamroll right through it. Like who need? I think so. Like for me, I told you, man. I think Allen should be the MVP anyway.
Okay,
MVP.
What point do
all
numbers
day, all
matter?
long? Matters.
Stafford's
Numbers matter.
Right now, he's number
They
one
didn't
in league.
last year though, because everyone that was pushing numbers was pushing Lamar.
Yeah, but right now, Stafford's 1 in league in passer rating, 2 in QBR, and it's not to Josh. Josh is not 1. He's 1 in total pass yards, I believe. Is the most thrown touchdowns, only 5 picks. Like, unless he comes out here and throws 5 picks tonight, I don't know how you say.
I'm
how
just
do you
saying,
jam him?
I'm
How do you
saying
jam
maybe
him?
he doesn't lose, the pace car roll, but he can slow down a few miles an hour.
I agree.
Like he plays poorly tonight, loses. I'm just saying. I don't think it's determined. Like I don't think Matt Stafford. I wouldn't be putting money down on him yet. Like I think the door is open for Allen to come steaming through down the stretch.
Oh
here.
yeah.
The way he's playing,
It's not over.
It is not over. It is not over.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's the Bills in general. That's the story of the Bills in general. Like, if you're not going to win this year, be it the MVP or the Super Bowl, like, when are you going to win it?
Right, exactly.
Like, the opportunity's never been gifted to you in a more beautiful way.
And I think in large part because Allen is playing at the level he's playing at.
Yeah, I mean,
like, he is completely unstoppable
look at
right
the AFC. No Lamar, no Patrick Mahomes. Unless the Steelers puke all over themselves, which can happen. But Lamar ain't going to be there. So now you sit there and you say, quarterback-wise in the AFC playoff picture, Stroud is the 7. Obviously, you got Buffalo. You got Herbert. I'm still taking Allen in that matchup.
There isn't a quarterback. There isn't one that's even close to
You
him.
can't beat a 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers, then you ain't the MVP.
Right. And I wouldn't be afraid of Lamar. Lamar doesn't have a great
He's not
playoff
what he
history,
was anymore.
especially not against
He's
Buffalo.
having a terrible year.
Yeah.
The
Like
problem is,
Allen-
boys, that Buffalo defense is not ideal.
Not great.
It's not ideal.
It's not great, and it isn't great on the road.
Like,
in particular, it's really bad on the road.
And
they're going to have to go on the road.
If I know we'll see how this whole thing shakes out, but whether it's on the road or at home, if they have to play the Houston Texans, that's a bad matchup for Buffalo. That is a bad matchup.
Yeah, we just saw it a couple weeks ago. They couldn't
What, they had
score.
7-8 sacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very bad matchup for Buffalo. Outside of Houston, I think Buffalo.
Denver's
Denver's
scare me a
another
little
tough
bit
matchup.
too, man. Yeah, Denver's defense would scare me. And you're going to Denver. That's a tough game.
This might be a weird take, but I actually would have preferred, if I'm a Bills fan, I would have preferred that they played the Patriots tight, but lost that game. Like, I hate the idea that Vrabel now has, like, film to study and prep for the playoffs. Like, I would give the coaching edge between McDermott and Vrabel to Vrabel.
Sure.
And, like, again, I know I'm big braining this, but it's like, those would be the 3. If I had to rank, like, the 4 teams that I would be like, it's Buffalo, New England is still there. I mean, it was a 35-31 game. Denver and Houston would be the 4, would probably be my top 4 right now.
All right. Well, we'll see what comes of it tonight, man. Good luck to your Seahawks.
Go Hawks.
Good luck to your Seattle Seahawks. Al's brother, great seeing you. Great, tremendous information as always. I love where things stand with us right now. And we got a game to play on Saturday, and then we got games on Sunday. Man, we got that Packers-Bears
Busy
game.
weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend. Great weekend.
Busy weekend. The Rams, they love the slop. Love the slop.
Love it. And they will love it.
O-Dog, is this killing you on the inside, man, having to, like, listen to this?
I got to tell you, I feel like they've made me feel like I'm part of the team.
That you
And
are part
I'll
of the
never-
team, O-Dog.
Yeah, you're our
Thank you,
Phillip
Al's
Rivers.
brother. And Al's brother, I have to do something right now that I never thought I would do. I give you full permission to use the pro athlete salute.
No,
So to you,
Al,
Al's
don't
brother.
you dare.
Hang on a sec.
Wow.
Al's brother. Let's go.
That is staggering, man. That's staggering.
If you want bad juju, it just happened.
Al's brother.
That's the TSN turning point of the season right there.
That even makes me concerned.
Stolen valor right
That
there.
is concerning. Al's brother is being treated like a professional athlete.
Pro
He
Athletes
was
Union
just too good today.
is not
He was
happy.
just
Pro
too good
athlete
today.
salute. All right,
love
Al's
it.
brother. Luke, good seeing you guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. There it is, Luke
See you in the
Wilson.
group chat, boys.
Catch you in the group chat tonight. Pick is locked in. Rams plus 1.5 for HBO. All right, best bets coming up. Our friend Lawrence Applebomb coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, best bets coming up later in the hour. Leafs back in action tonight. Dennis Hill to be getting a start. See what Austin Matthews has in store after a big night the other night, right?
Scored in 4 of his last 6. Maybe he's starting to show some signs of life.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to see just an outburst of a 3 or 4 point night.
Remember those days?
I do. And we see it with McDavid every night. Like, McDavid, I think they're in Boston tonight. I fully expect him to have multiple points.
Talk about heaters.
Yeah, McKinnon. The two of them, the last 6-7 games, they both have like 17, 18, 20 points. It's crazy.
You know
Crazy.
who else is starting to creep up, and it's a team, not an individual, is Florida.
FLA.
Yeah.
Yes.
somebody tweeted out the other day, I think it was Jason Demers, he was like, shame on the Atlantic for not pouncing on them and putting them down at the basement and leaving them there because of the mediocrity that's going on in the Atlantic. Like, these guys are just, they're I believe they're in a playoff spot today.
They have 38 points now. They beat LA last night. They're technically out of the playoffs, but they're a point back of Jersey. They're a point back of Tampa. Yeah, I mean, Florida, they've won 3 in a row. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10, and guys are starting to score. Like, Bennett's coming alive. Bennett's starting to score. I think he had his 11th last night. Verhaeghe scored his 11th last night. Lundell, I think, scored his 11th. Like, they're all starting to come alive. Marchand's been really good. Reinhardt's been really good recently. Seth Jones is playing great. And absolutely. Like, they were dead in the water. They've been injured. They looked old. They looked disinterested. They were losing. And
their two heart and soul guys aren't around right now.
Yeah. Kachuk and Barkov aren't even there. And now Florida is right there ready to pounce. And they may just go and say, screw it, man. We'll just go and win the division again. And 2 weeks ago, I was thinking maybe this just is not a year for them. Like, they got to regroup. And listen, the nature of the Atlantic and the nature of the conference would suggest don't get too ahead of yourself.
Right.
Florida could lose the next 4 in a row. And you say, all right, back to reality here. It's been very difficult to predict.
You think those guys, when they pick up steam, they're going to go revert back to just? I don't know. I don't
Seems
see
unlikely.
It's just like the old saying, "The cream always rises," man. Like, it's, as things were like dicey, and the Oilers are going this way, and the Florida Panthers are going that way, and it's like there's some other fraudulent teams that are going up and down and up and down, and it's like that's what your true color. Even the Penguinos, man. I was so high in the Penguinos early, it wouldn't shock me if they just.
Dude, finished bottom 5 in the league. Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Would not shock me.
Yeah.
Like they have lost 6 in a row now.
Yeah.
Pitt. Like, it's quickly turned. And, obviously not rooting for that. But look at the Rangers, too. The Rangers stink, man.
Yeah.
Shesterkin's
but that's what we
freaking
talked
out
about at the beginning of the year with Pittsburgh. It's like, do you really want to buy in the idea? And I did. I bought in. I was like, they're for real. They're for real. And it's like, how long before you're like, how could you really believe in that? And load up on the deadline with what?
Yeah.
I don't think Kyle's
they're transitioning. Dubas knows what he's doing. That's why he made the Skinner trade. Yeah. He knows. Like, they got Sheloffs, they got Skinner. They're going to figure out any of those guys make sense. Might they stick around? They're going to trade more pieces. Yeah. It's a long season. It
won't be long, Dog, till Hayes is back on the trade Sid bandwagon and, pounding the desk, say, get Sid out of there. It won't be.
Well, that's going to be interesting what the philosophy of the organization is when you just have new ownership step in right now. It's like, what the hell do they want to do?
Well, and Dubas has got to figure that out, right? Because Dubas is now pitching to a new ownership.
That's right.
Like, Fenway brought him in.
They didn't recruit him. Yeah.
They did not recruit him. So we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, Leafs in action tonight. Oilers in action tonight. Bunch of games in the NHL. Ottawa at home. They need to get going as well. The Habs have got to get going. There's a lot of teams just kind of lingering right now. So we got that. We've got, obviously, the Raptors in action. We got a big Thursday nighter. A lot going on in pro sports, but golf is always lurking in the background with the three of us in particular, right? Noodles, maybe not so much, but the three of us will watch replays of almost anything.
Were you tuned in last night for the All-Star team golf?
I still have a tough time with the manufactured stuff.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked it.
You're a fan of that?
I mean, they were running around like they were standing in the fairway doing relays, waiting for the drive to land so they could hit an approach shot. It was kind of fun.
All right. Well, I guess you got to get creative, right? Yeah. Like, this is the golf off season. A lot of people moving indoors. Sim golf is pretty significant. It's like a pretty booming industry in the country too right now. But to put a cap on the 2025 season, start looking ahead to 26. Here's our good friend from Golf Canada, the CEO of Golf Canada. There he is, Lawrence Applebomb. How you doing, Lawrence?
Guys, good to see you. The three top golfers at TSN right there in front of me. Good to see you guys.
That's highly debatable. Yeah. Highly debatable. Oh, actually,
these are the top two. I'm not even in the conversation.
O is for sure. O is without question the best golfer at TSN.
You're better than Duffy, aren't you?
I think I'm better than Duffy. He plays a lot more than I do, right? Like, Lawrence, you've seen us both. Be honest. Best game going. If you had to pick one of us, JD or myself, who you taking?
Well, I got to take the O-Dog as a partner just because the gross score in a gross game, that game is not going to be gross. That's what I know with O-Dog right there. Mm-hmm. But as you know, Brian, we do our hashtag My Golf Year for all our Golf Canada members, and so we send out a year in review, and it's pretty telling. It's pretty telling. You got your total number of games, total number of holes, how many birdies, how many eagles, and off a very nice year. Obviously Jeff has the lowest gross score, but the most holes played was Duthie by about a 5 factor by anybody that you guys know. So a lot of golf was played.
I would guarantee you, with this weather kind of lightening up, he'll find a round of golf on the weekend. Like, that's the kind of nonsense he does. He'll call around to the course that's open in December and say, "Can I go tee it up?" And he'll be playing.
Oh, I've seen it, and
Yes.
we've had such a run of golf in 2025, but we get a little respite from this cold here in this part of the country, and Duthie's out there playing. Unfortunately, the tracks that we've got a chance to play a few times, they've put it to bed. They've had a full season, but you're right, Brian. The off course, the simulator golf, this sort of, we've tried to take an approach that there's no off season for golf. You just have to take it indoors. And it's been super fun to see Canadians across the country getting into simulators, honing their game, especially the short stuff, Bri. The short stuff is where it's at for 2026.
That's what I have to work on in particular. But how does that work with the golf courses around the country, Lawrence? I'm curious how that works because, as you know, with Sims, like sometimes you go to a place and they have hundreds of courses, thousands of courses. Some of them don't have, many. Do you have any idea how that works, LA? Because I'm sure there's like a copyright issue. I would think you can't just put a course onto your, onto your programming. But do you advocate for that with, the great courses in the country to get out there and allow people to play them, presumably around the world if they're playing sim golf?
Sure. You could go on a lot of the different sim platforms, whether you're playing with Foresight, which is a partner of ours, or TrackMan, which you see everywhere. They've got literally, as you said, thousands of golf courses around the country. Most of the private golf courses or semi-private have either engaged and had their golf courses put on. So if you want to go play Coppenwood, you can play Coppenwood. You want to play Mad River, you can play Mad River. A lot of people like to play, the Pebbles and the old courses. But if you go into a club and you walk into a place like, let's say, Hamilton Golf Club, there'll be 3 people playing the old course and one group playing at Hamilton. They're always playing. You want to play your golf course, no matter what it is. So I just think what's so cool, and south of the border, you see a ton of Top Golfs or Drive Shacks, but it's happening here in Canada. People are able to go out and play, have fun, learn the game. Like what we're seeing a lot of is these indoor leagues that are going on. So Tuesday nights, you're going out for an hour with your buddies and having fun playing. A lot of the places have great food, great drink, and you can enjoy yourself. But I think for us in Canada, that's kind of the next frontier. People played close to 70 million rounds of golf in this country. And once the snow starts flying, they still want to hit it. And so that's just been awesome to see, is people going indoors. But in total, this year has just been the year where people played so much golf. It was really a special moment. By far the greatest year of golf in our country's history.
Wow.
LA, what do the real golfers do, like the Team Canada golfers, as far as keeping their game sharp? Are they able to head south or play actual golf, or they're not using simulators, are they? They're doing something different?
Well, our team, like we've got the largest group of Team Canada golfers, young women, young men, boys and girls that are on Team Canada ever before. And what we've done with our high performance program is we rent a house in the western part of the U.S. and outside of Scottsdale. And then we also have our friends at Cabot, who we lease a place just outside Cabot Citrus Farms. And they go down, they train all winter long. And one example of that is this young guy, AJ Ewert, who you guys probably saw in the final Q school. AJ stayed 120 nights at our house in outside of Scottsdale, and they train at a golf club. They practice with other Team Canada members, and AJ just won that Corn Ferry Q school and got his PGA Tour card. So the kids and the young pros, they got to go south. They got to see full flight. They got to train against the best in the world. And we're seeing it. Now we've got, now we've got 7 guys on the PGA Tour, and now we'll have 3 on the LPGA Tour for 2026, which is really spectacular.
Hey, Lawrence, nothing is more dramatic in a lot of ways than watching that Q School event because, for a lot of those guys, it's either you're going to have a full-time job as a golfer or you're going to be back to grinding and trying to get a full-time job as a golfer, and there aren't many of them. We saw, as you point out, you saw AJ Ewert, rise to the top. Adam Svensson got into that top 5. And you had some guys that were near misses. Ben Silverman loses out in a playoff and misses out on those full-time privileges by one shot. Adam Hadwin missed out. Miles Creighton missed out. What do you make of those guys and kind of who come up on the wrong end of the eternal quest to get that coveted card?
Well, I think one of the magics of professional golf is it's a true meritocracy, and this Q school or qualifying schools that they play is such must-see television, and for the core golfers, they follow it pretty closely. But we had 9 guys in final Q school, and as you said, AJ Ewert wins it. Adam Svensson gets his card back, and then Ben Silverman loses in a playoff. Like in sports, you don't have it come down to your entire next year is down to this one playoff. I think about some of the other guys that you guys all love and know. Adam Hadwin had a tougher year, and he's going to have a more challenging schedule in 2026. But we know we'll see Adam at the RBC Canadian Open. We know he'll get a bunch of starts on the PGA Tour. But those guys like Adam, like Miles Creighton, we just want to sure that all the Canadians continue to follow these guys and women who are trying to get back their cards. We also have another rookie who earned his card, a guy named Sudarshan Yelamaraju. And so when we get back to regular programming and Hayes and O-Dog are making their picks, you've got 2 new guys with Sudarshan and AJ who are going to fill out your rosters. But Corey had his best year ever overall, finishing a 6 on the FedEx list. Nick's having a great, he's still in the heart of his career and playing so well. And then obviously 2 of our favorites in Taylor Pendrith and Mackenzie Hughes coming back for another full year on the PGA Tour.
So, Lawrence, can O and I stay at that house? Like, can you text? What happens if O and I...
Like you said, the other guy stayed there 130. I would have stayed there 300.
No kidding. Like a full move-in.
Hey,
U-Haul and everything.
Where's the house? Scottsdale. Okay, well, I'll stay there as long as I
Yeah.
want. Thank you very much.
But let me just tell you, this isn't like our program where you roll out of bed, make some bacon and eggs, and then go hit a few balls. This is, doing your workout before 7 o'clock, eating right, going to the golf course, hitting balls for 2 hours, having a protein lunch. Then you go putt for 2 hours. Then you go on the golf course. Then you hit balls. Then you come back, tuck yourself into bed by 8:30. It was great to see, like we had 3 or 4 of these young pros or amateurs staying at the house, and they feed off of each other. And so it is a dream. Many of us would think it's a dream to be fully committed to playing professional golf. And so it's actually a real pleasure to see, we just had a coach, Derek Ingram. Many of you guys have met Derek over the years. He's Corey's coach. He's Taylor's coach. He lives and dies with these young guys, and he's now, coach of the year, and the PGA of Canada just named him the national coach of the year. And he's down at the house working out with these kids, making sure they're doing the right things. We had a goal to get 30 Canadians on the LPGA and PGA Tour by 2032. And so we feel like this, all the things that we're doing are really contributing to that. We're just kind of having a golden moment right now in golf in Canada.
Awesome. Can't wait for 2026. Get to the Golf Canada app for the My Golf Year full breakdown. And, LA, you can text us the address if you want off the air. You don't have to reveal it publicly, but we look forward to getting down there, O and I. We'll bring Festruck, too, and maybe you can get down there and we'll play and we'll figure it out. Thanks for doing this, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys, for everything you do.
You got it. There he is,
See ya,
Lawrence
LA.
Applebomb, the Golf Canada. Yeah, that would be I wonder what the rules are in terms of,
I
like,
was just thinking
you
that,
got to
like,
leave,
What if you want to leave?
Yeah, that's true, too, like if you commit. But what if you get down there and it's like, you're just hammering drinks at night and, like.
Dude, I think somebody would make a phone call saying so-and-so is
abusing
not
the house.
a part of the program.
Yeah. Like that is kind of, I appreciate that this guy, like that's a commitment and it's paid off.
Oh, yeah.
He won the Q school and he's going to be playing on the PGA Tour. That's amazing. But there's got to be a Farley on the other end of it that showed up and
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, man, this is amazing Scott stuff. You seen the girls down here? This place is awesome.
Golf's got a lot of
Pool out
Farleys.
there.
Yeah. I love it. Anyway, 2026 right around the corner, right? It's actually a pretty nice day today. I had someone text me the other day say, do you know of any courses that are open?
I'm telling
Text
you,
Duffy. I
Duffy.
don't. Yeah.
He's got a place in Hamilton, man. He wheels out there and he golfs.
He's a machine.
Hey man,
He is
those
a
escarpment courses, the soil's nice and sandy. They drain fast. It's not
right.
too wet. The courses in Niagara. I've played on Christmas Day down in Niagara many times.
There you
Nice.
go. Sunbelt.
Yeah.
Ontario, Canada, Sunbelt.
Miami of Canada.
The Miami of Canada. All right, best bets coming up. Bunch of action tonight. We'll recap a busy afternoon. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Thursday Night Football tonight. HBO locking in the Rams. We're getting points. Big game in the NFC West. You can feel it in the NFL. Like it's put up or shut up time now. Time to get rocking, right? Who's going to win? Who's going to win the divisions? I can't wait for the game.
I can't remember a year where you have no idea who's actually really good. Like, there's a lot of teams that you just like. Are the Denver Broncos really the best team in the NFL? Well, they got the
I
best
kind of like
record.
that, though,
Great
Fetchuk.
point.
I like the idea of maybe Denver wins a Super Bowl this year. Maybe it's Buffalo's year. I do like the dynasty, but I also like the element of maybe Houston wins. Never know. I love it.
Well, it's funny. Like the Eagles are still they're still in a playoff spot. They're going to win the division.
Don't you think the
And-
Eagles, as bad as they've been, Hayes, they should scare some people if they flip the switch?
That's what I'm saying. No one's talking about them.
No one.
Nobody. Everyone's written them off. Understandably, they've been horrible. They're 9-5. You know, they're going to host a playoff game. And, you know, they're probably going to play a team that technically is better than them or has been playing better than them. But that's not an easy game to go into Philly if they're healthy. That's a terrifying opportunity.
And they've been through this routine before where everybody's doubted them. Last year, everybody wanted Nick Sirianni fired when they had a tough start last year. And then what do you know? He's doing press conferences at the Super Bowl talking about everybody wanting to fire him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, by the way, we also won the Super Bowl.
Things change
Everybody
quick.
still wants to fire me.
Things change quick, man.
Yeah.
They change quick. So, yeah, we got that tonight. We got the Leafs in Washington. And the last time they played this team, it was an afternoon game, U.S. Thanksgiving. And remember, they were up 2-0, and they were holding on for dear life.
Yes.
And they lost 4-2 in reg. Tonight's can you find a way to get a point night, which is
I'm
not a great
fascinated
mentality to
see.
have. But
I'm fascinated to see two. I'm all three games. They got Wash, they got Nash, and they got Dallas. So you've had a cupcake schedule at home, and now you're going on the road and you're going to play some real hockey teams. So let's see what you got.
And Washington's lost they've lost the last two games by combined 10-1. So they're
not
on
happy.
high alert.
They're not happy. Yeah, we had Dylan Strome on yesterday, and he was talking about how well they've played recently, up, you know, with the exception of the last two games.
Correct.
You know, which is natural. But anyway, we'll see. We got the Leafs in action. We got the Raptors. Do you think they make a pitch to Giannis tonight? Hey, do you want to find a way to get traded to the Raptors, or is it New York
you know
or
where
bust?
that guy's going. He's going to New York, and that's it.
Because they won the NBA Cup.
No,
That's right.
because he wants to be in New York.
I can't blame
I don't know,
him.
man. Every time, I don't know. I think Toronto was always a possibility for him. The Greek community here has always been massive, and they always show up to the Giannis games.
Yep.
You know, like I've been post game at a Raptors game where Giannis comes out and is greeted by like a standing ovation from like hundreds of Greek people. You know,
How
it's-
much does it hurt that Masai's not here for that recruitment,
Well,
Dave?
We had Danny Green on this show, I think, when you guys weren't here one day. Or were you here?
I was here,
You were
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it was, but and he said it does. I mean, I think it does because Masai had a real relationship, has a real relationship with the Antetokounmpo family. Like he got him a passport when he was young, when he was just a nobody that nobody really understood how good he was, and they've been a thing for a long time. But it's not like Bobby Webster is nobody. You know, Bobby can make a pitch.
And Bobby's won before, right? And that famous clip of them trying to trade up to get him, why didn't they just go all in and get him?
Yeah.
You could have got that pick if you added a piece or two. Hindsight being 2020. But if you really thought Giannis was going to be a superstar, go get him.
You know how many stories there are of basketball scouts and GMs and executives that had a chance to get Giannis or sign Giannis, or shoe executives that had a chance to sign Giannis? There's a lot of regret around Giannis. A lot of people miss Giannis.
Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You know the play. Rams taking points tonight. Rams tonight. Stafford to throw 2+ touchdowns this evening. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Every NFL game is available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 19+, physically located in Ontario. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube, live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
4 p.m. A salute to Al's brother, my new compadre.
There you go. We'll chat then.